Okay, so just to update you in case anybody missed it, but I created um, a little page just for my own team, where just because even like sharing the recording of the team call, it's just a place where I can post it one time, instead of messaging in all these different group chat threads that I have about like team call tonight and here's the recording, and anytime I want to do a live video or something just for you guys, it just is a lot easier if I can just have a group. So I know it's yet another group, but like, oh well, who cares, right? It's another group. We'll all survive. But it's a place too where I can put all my scripts, and it's just a little less overwhelming than the big team page. So that is where the link for this call is, and it's the exact same link every single week. So just save it somewhere, like just copy and paste the link you use tonight and put it like somewhere where you will always have it, and that's our Thursday night call. And then same with Saturday mornings, it's the same link every single week that Michelle uses. So I put that link in there as well. So just to sort of make things simple.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah?
You're a little echoey.
Am I? Like for everybody?
I don't know. And you're or maybe it's just me.
I only hear birds.
You don't even hear me, Jana?
No, I hear birds.
Oh, yeah, there's birds.
I don't hear an
That's it.
echo.
Okay. Maybe if everybody's muted, maybe mute yourself, Tracy. Oh, am I frozen? Because Tracy's frozen, so maybe it's her. Am I frozen?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Because I see Kate's frozen too. Okay. All right, I'm going to assume the issue's not on my end, but okay. So I'm just going to continue on here. Okay, and this call, I sort of asked my newer coaches what they wanted me to chat about tonight, because I really didn't have anything in mind, and they were the ones that sort of gave me the idea about like tips to stay organized and just something that we all struggle with, right? Like how to do more with the time that we have to work this business. So that's what the call is going to be focused on, but it's very informal. Like I just quickly, like literally 10 minutes ago, I wrote some notes down, but like feel free to interrupt me or ask any questions, write stuff down, because I hope I will give you guys some like actionable type things tonight. But again, like just interrupt me. I don't care. Like I'm in my jammies, for God's sakes. This is pretty informal. So everybody is muted. And I just have a couple shout outs. Brooke is our newest Emerald coach, but she's actually not on the call tonight. But she started coaching just over 1 month ago, and she hit Emerald today. So that was very, very exciting for her. And then we have we have a lot of Success Club shout outs. Jana is at Success Club 8. Brooke is at Success Club 8. Cindy's at Success Club 6. Elaine is at Success Club 6. Agatha is at 2. Sonia is at 4. Tracy is at 4. Kristen is at 2. Danielle is at 2. And Tammy is at 2. So that's awesome. Like that's a lot of, like people's names on the board already this month. So that's really, really like so good. And so many people are so close to 5, like just needing one more challenger and you'll hit Success Club 6. So everybody's super, super close to hitting that first little benchmark. So that's awesome. Okay. So here are my tips. I have been super organized in this business from day one. And I think a lot of it sort of stems from being a nurse, and because we like in nursing, we literally have to document every single move we make in our 12-hour shift. Like we have to like everything has to be documented. Every single move we make, every medication we give, every treatment we do, everything has to be documented. So when I started this business, that was just sort of my natural way to do this business, was to document everything. document who I was talking to, document who was interested or who I thought would maybe be interested or who I wanted on my team or who was on my team and when they joined and what they joined with and who was on Shakeology Home Direct, who had canceled their Shakeology. I knew, like, in the beginning, obviously now things have gotten much larger, but in the beginning I knew all that stuff because I documented it and I tracked every single thing that I was doing business related. And that is huge. Like, you don't maybe necessarily need to be as anal as I was, but tracking is like crucial in this business because it means nothing if you're connecting with, 5 women a day. If you don't know enough to go back to them next month and connect with them again or invite them like we should be doing, you just wasted all your time connecting with them. Like, there's no point in even connecting with them if you don't have the ability to go back and find them and know what you were talking about so that you can invite them to your next challenge group or you can invite them to the coaching opportunity. All you were doing was just having conversations with people, and it's going to get you nowhere fast. So you have to be tracking. And if you're not tracking, you can start today. Like, it's something like, you'll kick yourself and be like, damn, I should have started tracking that first day, but I'm going to start tracking my shit tonight. So it's something that you can implement immediately. The easiest way that I found in the beginning, and again, the things that I do now are a lot different than what I did in my first year as a coach even. Things for me have changed a lot since I started using TeamZ, which is like a online tracking device, which is amazing, and it's designed for Beachbody coaches. Just go to teamz.com if you're wanting to know more information about it. But before TeamZ, I ran this business pen and paper. I got to like 1-star diamond using pen and paper. I have no doubt that I still could continue growing my business using pen and paper. TeamZ's just made it a lot more easier and more efficient for me. So there's nothing wrong with pen and paper. I'm a huge supporter of it as long as you're doing it right and you don't just have like a shit ton of papers everywhere, because again, that means nothing. You've wasted your time writing all this stuff down if it has no rhyme or reason to it. So you have to be super organized in what it is you're doing. I always, when I first started, I had like 4 pieces of paper basically, and I had them pinned up on my bulletin board. And at the top of one piece of paper said potential challengers. So this was people who had maybe reached out to me or commented on a post like, ooh, I'm interested. Anybody who expressed any interest at all in a challenge group or Shakeology or a program, any interest, their name immediately went on that list. Like, as soon as I saw I'm interested or anything, that name was written down. And over time, that list just kept growing and kept growing. And when they purchased, I used to highlight maybe? I think I used to highlight because I didn't want to cross it off because then I would wonder whose name was underneath all of that. But I would highlight it when they purchased. And so that's how I first started. So I had this interested list. I also had a coaching interested list. So people who had expressed interest in coaching or people who I thought would be a great coach. So people's names went on this list that maybe I never really talked to a whole lot, but I just thought, oh, this person would be so awesome. Or if I was scrolling Facebook and saw someone that was just like posting something really profound or just looked like someone that was like me, I would just write their name on the list. It didn't mean that I went and messaged them. I mean, some people I still have never messaged that are on that list. It's just their name was on that list so that I could somehow one day go back to them and connect with them and even invite them if it came to that, and I felt comfortable with that. So I had an interested challenger list, an interested coaching list. I had a current challenger list. So, and I still have this. I still like write down, where's my list? I always have exactly who is in my challenge group, and it's written on paper. So here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but that is like my list from my April challenge group. So the names at the very top are brand new people that have never done a challenge group with me. These are all names of people who are just continuing on with me, and it goes on to the back as well. But I want to know who are my first time challengers, because those are people that I really want to be like really following closely and messaging closely. And like, this is prep week for my challengers. So I want to know who is it that I need to reach out to every couple days this week in prep week to say like, you know, how are you doing? Have you figured out the app? Has your package arrived yet? Have you tried Shakeology? Have you tried any of the workouts? What's your workout program? Even though we're talking about all of that in the group right now, I still want to ask them personally. And, you know, what's your plan for Monday? What time are you going to work out at? Do you know what you're going to eat that day? Like, I ask them all those questions, and it's easy for me to do that because I have their names right there. It's very simple for me to quickly figure out who those core people are that I need to invest a lot of time with in this challenge group. And I also want to know, like what their goals are, their short-term goals. I want them to tell me their goals. So this is sort of getting off track and going back to challenge group stuff. But that's the whole purpose of having a list of your current challengers. And then same thing, if you've got challengers that have been in your challenge group for months and months, and in my case, like a year or even 2 years, those are the people that I still want to touch base with, as opposed to the people who were in my challenge group but then just fizzled out and never joined anymore. I still want to connect with those people. Like they're still my customers. I'm still their coach, but the people who are in my challenge group, they're going to get more of my time, right? It's just like my coaches, right? Like my coaches who are excelling at this business, they're going to get a lot of my time. And my brand new coaches are going to get a lot of my time. And the coaches that come onto team calls and the coaches that are messaging in the message threads, they're going to get my time. The ones that don't join and aren't in the message threads, they're going to get less of my time. So it's the challengers are the exact same way. Again, I've gotten let me flip back to my notes. But those are sort of how I started with my lists. And I worked from those lists every single day because it was very easy for me to figure out, okay, so looks like, you know, those 5 people said they were interested. I'm going to reconnect with them and see if they're interested in joining my challenge group this month, or check in on them. And it was a very easy way to sort of follow up with people because I had this huge list of people who were always saying they were interested in the group. Jana, do you have a question? Sorry. Or were you just waving?
Just waving at Sonia.
Okay. I thought you were like, teacher.
No.
Okay. And also then when I started sort of to move a little bit further in this business and I needed more paper than just like my 4 lists that I had, I realized, okay, I need a binder. So I just went to the dollar store and I got a binder. So if you are doing paper and pen, get yourself a binder and get yourself some dividers so that you're not having these like random pieces of paper everywhere. You can sort of organize it into sections. So I haven't used this binder since I started TeamZ, and I only started TeamZ in October. So I used this binder for a very, very long time. And it's almost like my baby. Like I feel very nostalgic coming back to my binder. But in the very first section of my binder, I have all my groups, all my free groups, and every single person's name written down, like February 27th, resolution reboot. I've got my new my new people, and then all my old people. When I say new, I mean people who have never done a group with me, and then old people who have purchased a challenge pack from me. There's my March 6th group. There's the health bet group in January. So it goes like all the way back to like my very first group that I ever ran in like 2015, because I tracked everything. So you guys should have that too, because you know what I can do now? If I am struggling to hit Success Club, I can just open my binder and I can go back to like oh, here's my interested list from September, like last September. I can go through and be like, that person was interested last September. That's a long time ago. I'm going to shoot her a message and see what's up. Or I can go to like my free group from December and go and check in on this person and see how they're doing. So that's why having these, tracking everything is key, right? Otherwise, I'd be sitting here going, well, shit, I'm not at Success Club and I don't even know who the heck to reach out to. But because I have like thousands of names written down, because I've had all these constant conversations, it's very easy for me to connect with people. So I've never, ever run out of people to talk to, ever. Like I've never had a shortage of people to reach out to. I also have a huge section, and this is like where I was super, super anal. But when I started at my Fit to Be a Mama group, and I added in, my 120 friends into that group, like all women, I went to the members list and I wrote down every single person's name that was in that group. And I have every single person's name written down. Like they're all falling out. It's so old. Like pages and pages. And when they bought something, they got highlighted. Like, so early on, there's like lots of highlights because I was like selling a lot of challenge packs, but every single person's name that was in my Fit to Be a Mama group up until I switched over to Teamzy, I wrote down their names. So I think I had like over 2,000 people in that group by then. So that's a lot of names that I wrote down. But every single day during my power hour, I would go into my group. And you can do this if you are just using your personal page, because you can just go to your friends list and you can look at your new friends that you've added in. And you can just scroll back to like the last time you connected with people and write down the next 10 names that you added in and write down their names. And that's how you build a contact list. You have to have a contact list. Okay? Like it's like crazy to me when I find out that people actually don't have lists or contact lists. You can't just go by your Facebook Messenger. You can't. You have to have a list. So start writing down everybody's name that you are having conversations with, or tracking it into Teamzy, whatever is easiest for you. I'm not going to talk about the Teamzy thing just because I know not everybody's using it. And again, I don't think it's necessary. Like I am 100% like an advocate for it. I love it. And if you want to do it, you'll get your money back for sure. But if you don't see the value in it yet, that's okay. Like you'll get there and you will eventually need it when your business really starts to take off.
Megan,
Yeah.
so what about me? Like I don't have a private group like you guys do. I have like 900 people on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. Like I'm not writing all them names down, am I? Like I got kids on there and men that I've been friends with since school. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
What would you do?
For you, I would start tracking now who you're talking to. Like, are you tracking it? Like you're using.
Well, I keep all my conversations. I have them all, but no, I'm so lost with the organization thing. That's why I wanted some help.
Are you using Teamzy?
I have it, but I haven't figured it out yet, really.
Okay, so you need to figure it out. It's not that hard to figure out. It's not. They have amazing videos right in Teamzy that walk you through exactly how to use it. And it's the best thing. Like it is the best because it will tell you exactly who, like the biggest thing with this business is that every single day you want to make sure you are connecting with a certain amount of people. So that means just like reaching out, checking in, like, hey, how are you? How was your weekend? Like just reaching out to people, saying hi. You also want to be touching base with like your current customers, right? Like reaching out to people that are already a challenger of yours. You also want to be doing your follow-ups. And so those are people that are interested, that have expressed interest. So you're following up with them. Hey, have you had a chance yet to look over the information? Or what did you think about our chat last night? Like whatever it is, but those are follow-ups. And then you also need to be adding to your network every single day so that you have new people to connect with. And Teamzy ensures that you are doing all of those things every single day, and you can do your power hour right from Teamzy. So getting those vital behaviors done, the connecting, the inviting, all of that. And Teamzy, like you can't screw it up. If you do, and they pull up the names for you based like on your Facebook list, it like connects right to your Facebook. So they will tell you, here's your people you need to reach out to today. Here's your follow-ups. So as soon as you have someone that's interested in something, you add them into your Teamzy and you set a follow-up date to follow up with them. So I have like people that I'm connecting with this month, like people who I've added to my network this month and that I'm, connecting with, like just making conversation, like, oh yeah, I'm a mom too, that kind of stuff. They're going on my follow-up list for next month. And next month, I'm going to just like go check them out and make sure that we're still friends. Because if they unfriended me, they probably didn't want to see any of my stuff. But if we're still friends and they're still seeing my posts, I'm going to assume that they like what they see. So I'm going to invite them to my next challenge group. And that's just how I've been doing it. Because why wouldn't I invite them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps.
The Teamzy, it's like $30 a month, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, you don't need it. Like if that scares you spending the $30 a month on it, you can do this business without Teamzy for sure. What I would do, Jana, for you is even go through your friends list. Like take an hour and scroll through your friends list and get a pen and a piece of paper and write down all the names of people who you've been chatting with or who you think would be really, could benefit from this, or who you think would be a great coach, and start putting them on a specific list. And the ones like your kids' friends and your Uncle Bob or your nanny and all, you don't put them on a list, like, and that's fine. So you can start making a list now, and you'll play catch up. You'll go through those 900 people, and it's going to be painful, but guess what? You're going to have an awesome contact list. So it's worth taking that time and doing it. And then, tomorrow, if you start having a conversation with someone new, you add them to that list.
Okay.
And that's the biggest thing, is that you are always adding to your list. Every single day you want to be adding to your list, even if it's one person, because there is no magic number. Like, I can't tell you that you have to invite 10 people and you have to add 10 people, like, because everybody has different goals, right? But you should be at least, like, your number should at least be 1 for all those categories if you're wanting to do this. And the more you do, the faster you will grow, if that helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so then the other thing that I always did too, and it's in this binder, is then I recently sort of switched to a notebook, but I have every single day is one page. And I know I've talked about this before, but I figure it can't hurt, because I love my little notebook. Like, it's been the best thing for me having this little dollar store notebook, and every single day gets one page. So like that was Tuesday. And then it's like my to-do list. And it's very simple, but what I put on my to-do list is I put the workout that I'm doing, because that's like part of my business is doing my workout, and I know exactly what workout I'm going to do. So on Sundays usually is when I will go to my notebook and I will write Monday on one page, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on every single page with the date. And then I look at my workout calendar, whichever program I'm following, and I write on each one of those papers the today was CVX or whatever it was I was doing. And I do that for the entire week. And then I also go and I look at my calendar, like when our team calls are, and I plug all that into my little notebook. And then I start my to-do list. So tonight I will write out my to-do list for tomorrow for the business. And it has the exact same things on it every single day. But I can't just leave it to chance that I'm going to do it. I have to write it down and I have to check it off. Like I have to, otherwise I haven't done it in my mind. So for me, I message 10 people from my ad. So I have an ad running, and that's how I am adding to my network. So however it is you're adding to your network, you want to make sure that that's on your to-do list, adding to your network, whatever way, shape, or form that is, adding to your network. I always want to, I always put my follow-ups in there. Like I just write follow-ups so that I know to go to my Teamsy list and I do all my follow-ups. This one was kind of messed up, but I also have likes and comments written. So I go to all my posts from the day before and I look at everybody who liked and commented on posts from yesterday, and I reach out to all those people, assuming that I'm not in constant conversation with them. But pretty much every single day, just from doing that, I can connect with some people that I haven't really chatted with in a while or ever, because I'm always adding to my network every single day. So the people that maybe I added last week to my network, this week are clicking the like button. So there's my door to reach out to them and say, thanks so much for liking my post. Like that means so much to me. Are you a mom as well? Or whatever the post was about. Or
Megan, are you doing that for your support group posts and your personal page posts?
Yeah, everything, and my like page.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's like just a silly post, like that doesn't have any like real, like if I just shared like I don't really, like if my recipes, for instance, I might not reach out and be like, thanks so much for the like on my recipe. Like, I think I have done that, but
tonight I posted on my personal page, like, don't compare yourself to other moms. We're all losing our shit. Some just hide it better than others. Like, it wasn't a picture or anything. It was just like a status. And like, oh my God, I'm getting so many likes on it. But I'm like, would I really go and be like, hey, thanks for liking my...
No, but you could even just message them and just change the message a bit. Like, like, thanks for the like, I don't know what you'd say, but sort of more so like bring it back. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only hot mess. Ha ha ha. Bring it more like that. Because each message is going to be different depending on what that post was, right? Like if it's a really deep, vulnerable post, my message to them is going to be different than if it was just like a funny, like today when I posted the eggs, like if anybody saw that, I'm not going to go and like, thanks so much for liking my post about the eggs. Like I wouldn't, but if I was struggling with people to connect with, damn right I would. Like 100%, if someone liked that post that had never liked any of my stuff, I would be reaching out to her. If I was struggling with connecting and messaging people, 100% I would hold on to anything that I could get my hands onto and message them for sure. So yeah, that's another thing on my to-do list every single day, part of my power hour, because that counts towards my connecting. That's the connecting piece, is just thanks for the like, how's it going with you? So when I go through my posts, I can sort of check that part off of my power hour, the connecting piece. And then my follow-ups, I do that as well from Teamsy. So I've done my follow-ups. And then because I have an ad running, I am adding to my network every single day, those people, and I'm reaching out to brand new people every single day. So just with those three things, I mean, I could call it a day. Like I've done the vital things that I need to do for my business. I've added to my network. I've followed up and I've connected. I haven't specifically invited at all. However, when I'm reaching out to those people who are liking and commenting on my posts, if I feel like it's appropriate, I'll invite them, especially if they've liked a post that had to do with a challenge group. If I was talking about my challenger's success or talking about like, you know, oh, I can't wait to kick off prep week, or is anybody interested in joining, and they like it, I'm all over that. Like all over it. Same with coaching. When I'm talking about coaching in a post and people like it, you better believe that you're going to get a message from me. And I might say something to you like, have you ever thought about it? Maybe you were just liking to support me, but if it's ever crossed your mind, I'd love to chat about it. So I'm always inviting. It's not like I've got these planned invites. It's just in the moment, like it feels right. And I feel like they're giving me a sign by liking my stuff that, hey, I'm going to reach out to them too.
And that's really definitely like why you're doing, you're making sure that you're doing specific coaching jabs, and, you know, you're posting with purpose instead of just posting, right? Because really you want to get likes on those posts, and those are the people that you're going to reach out to, right?
Yeah, that's so true. Like, you know, obviously I have the posts every single day too that are just like, I gotta get a post. Like for instance, that egg one today, I actually was like, thank God I just went out to the chicken coop right now, because I was outside gardening all day with my mother-in-law, and I knew she would judge me if I was like, I gotta stop and take a selfie here. And I just went out to the chicken coop and found these eggs, and I was like, oh, thank God I can take a picture of this and post it quick, because I hadn't posted. You know, so I was like, oh, phew. But for the most part, I'm always trying to post with purpose. Every morning, I'm posting with purpose. Like 99% of the time, I'm posting with purpose in the morning, because then if all else fails and the day goes to hell in a handbag and I just put in these little egg posts, then at least I've put in my meaningful stuff already, and I feel good about that. I set really high expectations for myself on that kind of stuff. Like I always want to be giving value to the people that are watching me, and I'm just assuming that people are watching me, and I am assuming that people want to hear from me, and I am assuming that they're just waiting for my posts. So I want to give them good stuff. And I could be full of shit. There could be like 5 people that are staying, like wanting to see my posts. And like, you guys are probably them, like, and my mom, right? But I have to just assume that, because that gives me the confidence to get some really good content for them. And I'm not spending hours giving content for them, but I am not just posting to post. I want them to like my stuff. I want them to comment on it so that I can reach out to them. That's the whole point of it, right? Is to connect with them. And if you're not posting without giving them a reason to like it or comment, again, like you're kind of just wasting your time. Like you're just taking some selfies and writing a blurb. You got to give people a reason to connect with you and to like it and to comment on it. I feel like I keep getting like, this is because I didn't have anything planned, so I'm going all off. But that's like essentially, and then I always have invites on my to-do list. So I make sure that I do get some invites out there. And some days I'm doing like 15, and other days I might only do 2. But I always get to my goal. So I do whatever it takes to get to my goal. So you guys have to figure out what your number is too in order to get to your goal, because it's going to be different than mine. It's different for every single person, because everybody's goal is different too. And then of course on my little list in my book, I have like what we're going to have for dinner, and that I've got to do laundry tonight, and a call for my new health card, like shit like that, right? But this is like how I survive the day, is because I have it all written out and in front of me, and I work from a list. And I can get my shit done quick because I'm working from a list, and I set specific times in my day where I do this business. And I am not perfect. And like, me just even saying that I feel hypocritical because I try and set specific times where I work this business, but in the morning I always have a chunk of time where I am like the most productive from like 9 till 10:30 or 11. That's like what's probably like 9:30 now just because of school and stuff, but that's like when I get my power hour done. That is when I get my business building activities done and over with. And then the rest of the day it's just kind of filler stuff as I go. And then again in the evening, I set aside another chunk of time so I can respond to all the messages that I had sent out. Because I'm not constantly responding to everybody in my inbox. I'm not a slave to my inbox. I save those messages until I am ready to respond to them. Of course, if it's someone like, oh my God, I want to order a challenge pack right now, or I want to sign up as a coach right now, I'm all over that shit. But for the most part, I save it all until I am ready, because this is my business and I run it myself. They don't run it. No one else runs it. It's me. So I get to make those rules. So then in the evening, I spend a little bit more time on it. So try and set specific time if you're feeling overwhelmed or feeling like you're doing this all day long, or you're neglecting like the housework. Set a timer. That's another thing I do, is set a timer for 45 minutes. 45 minutes you are focused on messaging people. You don't scroll Facebook. You don't respond to messages. You don't check your post to see how many people liked it in the last 5 minutes or who commented on it or what I'm posting. You are looking at your to-do list and you are labeling them 1, 2, 3, 4, the things that you need to get done. And you start at number 1 and you do it until it's done. And then you go to number 2 and you do that till it's done. And you go to number 3 and you do that until your timer goes. And then you stop. And then you go and fold some laundry, or you go play with your kids, or you go back to work because you're on your lunch break, or whatever it is you need to do. And then you set that timer again and you hammer in and you put your blinders on, you turn your notifications off, because you can get so easily distracted. So you have to work with purpose and just really, really focus on the task at hand. And you can get it done in really efficient time. And you don't need to feel like you are constantly doing this all day long. Back to my list. Okay, the only other thing that I wanted to mention, and I know I talked about this, so I think everybody sort of knows that I do this, but again, I think it's really, really valuable. I have a group on Facebook that I'm the only member in, and it's called Fixers Template. I don't know why. I think because when I first started as a coach, I ran my own challenge group like right from day one, and it was on Facebook. So we didn't have the app to pre-schedule stuff. And there's a thing called Sendables, which is an online like scheduling app, I guess. So it sort of syncs with Facebook, and you can actually pre-schedule posts. And it will send automatically. So when I used to run all my challenge groups on Facebook, I would have them all set up in Sendables, and they would just post when they needed to post. Or even like in my support group, some days I would have scheduled posts so that they would just like go ahead and post, and I wasn't having to post at the exact time. However, for like the first year of my business, I was too cheap to use Sendables, so I didn't. So I was like running my challenge groups on Facebook by myself. I was running two challenge groups a month for probably my first year of the business, because I was just like, yeah, sure, you're interested in it. My challenge group already started. I'll run another one. So I just got into that habit of running 2 a month. So, and I did not pre-schedule these posts. So what I did is I created a group on Facebook that I had all these posts in so that I could quickly copy and paste. That's why I think I called it like Fixers Template, because it was like my 21-day fix posts. And I just like stole them all from Michelle, and I like stored them in this group so I could very quickly copy and paste them into the challenge group at specific times. And I'm not kidding you, the day I was in labor with Andy, I was in in the hospital, and I remember I gave birth to him, and like an hour later I was like, fuck, Will, give me the phone. I haven't posted in our challenge group yet. And he's like, you are messed up. I'm like, I know, but I'm too cheap to pay the $30 a month. So I was like having to post in my challenge group the day I had my baby. Like, it was just ridiculous. I don't do that anymore. I pre-schedule stuff, but that's where this group came from. So I have stuck with this little group that I have, and I have a file section in there, and I can even screen share it too if it's helpful. But I have a file section that I started putting any scripts. Like, that's where all my scripts have come from. I didn't get those scripts from people. Those are my scripts that I was using myself, and I was so sick of typing the exact same thing to 30 people a day who were interested, right? Like, every time someone was interested, you sort of said the same thing. So I just created this file and put it in there so that I could quickly copy and paste and send it to the person who was asking about it. And same with anyone that asked, what was the 21-day fix program? I had a script that I could quickly send to them. So you need to have something like that. And that's why I started this little team page as well, so that you guys have quick access to scripts. So you are not spending your entire power hour typing messages and messages and messages to one person, because it can be time consuming. Like, someone asks, well, what's Shakeology? Oh my God. Like, you don't want to be like typing all of that every single time. Like, copy and paste and tweaking is a lot easier. In this group now, I have like posts galore. Like, anytime I am like just like thinking, and I think like a little like one-liner in my head, I quickly put it into that group and press post, because I'm the only one in there. So I can go in there and like scroll through all these lovely little quotes. When I'm reading my personal development, I'm highlighting, and then afterwards I go into that group and I use like the voice text, or I don't know what that's called, but where you can like talk and it'll type for you. And I read what it was that I highlighted and posted into that group. So then I've got all of these awesome like personal development type quotes and posts in that group that I can just quickly tweak. So like tomorrow morning, my post, I don't even know what it's going to be yet, but unless something like really comes to me when I'm doing my workout, I'm going to go into my group fixers template, and I'm going to just like scroll through and be like, ooh, that's a good one. And I'm going to copy that and paste it into my Fit to Be a Mama group and tweak it and put some little emojis, and then take a picture, edit my picture, and there's my post. So it's just sort of coming, like figuring out how to be more efficient. And that's one way. Like, when I was driving to London the other day, for whatever reason, I had like I was listening to a national wake-up call. That's what it was. And all of these like amazing breakthrough moments were coming to me. And I literally just grabbed my phone and started talking into my group, like blah, 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 post. Like, I was like kind of driving, not really, don't judge me. But like, I would just like talk into it, so it would type it for me, because you are always thinking of these like awesome things, and then they leave you as soon as you get home and you start like doing real life stuff, right? So just take advantage of these little things that you could be doing and saving all of these awesome ideas. Or when I see something on Facebook of another coach, like a top coach, like I will take a screenshot of it and post it into my group. And not that I'm going to go and copy that, but one day if I'm like, oh, I don't know what to post, and I'll come across that in my group, I'll be like, oh, that was so good. I'm going to recreate that. So it's always, I've got like this library of ideas in there. Quotes, funny quotes, like funny one-liners that my kids say. I'll just put it in there and save it for a rainy day, basically. I hope that helps a little bit. I think that is sort of what I wanted. I also have a calendar that I work off of. So a huge calendar on my fridge that has when my challenge group is starting, when the prep week is starting, when my free group will be, when our coaching events are, when our team calls are. I've got it all right there. And it's the same calendar that my family uses. So everybody is like aware. Or if I have like a call scheduled with one of you guys, I can write it on in there. So and then I transfer that to my little notebook for the week and have it all in front of me. And this thing, like literally just, it's like my water bottle. These things just go everywhere with me, room to room, car, house, wherever. They're with me at all times. Okay, questions? Nothing? Helpful, hopefully? Okay, well, good night, everybody. We'll see you guys later. You're welcome.